special,
In this case, Melton
historical,
in the west of the Gulf of
backbreaking,
Mexico and spent more than 2
hurricane,
days crossing the Gulf, so it had ample time
Cattery
to build up strength. It's one of the very few
Melton,
Atlantic hurricanes that reached Category
weather,
5 strength,
USA,
weakened a little
UK
bit, and then
24.
hit Cat 5 strength again on Tuesday afternoon. Only 2 other hurricanes are known to have done that in modern times. And the course it's taking, unfortunately, also is almost perpendicular to the west coast. So bringing it in a way that maximizes the storm surge that's slamming the areas between Tampa, St. Petersburg, and Fort Myers right now as we speak.
So just how dangerous a storm is it then, bearing all of that in mind?
Well, we're talking about the potential easily for 5 to 10 feet of water above ground level near the coast. That's certainly enough to completely inundate any structures.
Oh, that's really
horrific. Elevations. You can't survive something like that if you're in a building at sea level on the first story, and it'll easily demolish buildings. And this is a pretty substantially populated swath of coastline. Just the counties alone, Manatee and Sarasota, are close to 1 million people. So even though the center is moving in such a way that the worst surge will not be in Tampa or St. Petersburg, it's really going to slam this heavily populated corridor from Sarasota down to Venice, and even a little bit further south of that, there will be some damaging surge.
Now, the latest we're getting from the National Hurricane Centre is that it will make landfall a couple of hours from now, and it's moving relatively slowly, so the period until it moves off will be quite lengthy. Is that still the current situation?
Yes, in fact, it should be on the center of Melton, which is what's determined to be landfall, will be on shore probably around southeastern, but it's become a fairly large system in terms of the size of the eye. So the eye wall, which is the corridor of the very worst weather, the highest winds, heaviest rain, that is already pushing ashore now in areas like Sarasota and southern parts of the Tampa Bay region. So they're now getting the intense rains, and there is a extreme wind now for the metro area, Tampa, St. Pete down to Sarasota, meaning that they could get winds of 100 miles an hour over the next couple hours. So people are being advised to treat this as if it were a tornado. Get inside, get to the smallest room in your house away from windows.
Crikey.
And you'll need to be in there for a couple of hours because these winds could easily smash windows and even cause some structural damage. And that's apart from the actual tornadoes that have been happening by the 1 or 2 dozen at least across southern and eastern Florida.
If this weather system is so rare and so large, Bob, can we attribute this to climate change?
Well, we certainly can attribute the record warm sea surface temperatures that fed this storm to climate change. You warm the planet, you put a pot of water on the stove, and you turn the burner up, you're going to get boiling water. That's exactly what's been happening in the Gulf of Mexico. We're at record warmth for October, and we know that greenhouse gases pumped into the atmosphere warm the climate, warm the oceans. So you set the stage, and then we have a naturally occurring La Nina going on, which tends to foster hurricanes, and that's been intensifying.
And they're going to have a severe tornado season this year, the worst one over 100 years or more across the states of Florida up towards the state of Alabama, the state of
So is this
all the states up there.
Expect to see more of in the future?
I think we can expect to see when we get a bad year, it could be a very, very bad year. Because the proportion of hurricanes that gets this strong is increasing. We're not necessarily going to see more hurricanes, but we're going to see more bad ones. That's what's happening already. And the years where those hurricanes make landfall, like this year, we're in for a mess of trouble. And compound disasters are one of the biggest concerns with the changing climate. We have systems that are not set up to handle multiple storms, event after event, and that's what emergency managers are facing right now.
Okay.
I'd like to hear, please subscribe to my channel on Signage Evans.